Let's talk about Samhain. What is Samhain? It's basically Halloween, but it is a little bit more than that. It is the ancient belief that the veil is thinning on the night of Samhain. Nearly every culture and religion has a way of honoring those who have departed. In some cultures, the celebration of the dead lasts until November 2nd. In my home, I honor Samhain, and we also enjoy celebrating Halloween. My husband celebrates Dia de los Muertos. In the Philippines, they celebrate Undas. Samhain is a great way to honor those that dwell in the spirit realm. This can be pet veneration, ancestral veneration. You can also include deity worship. There are many methods in which you can prep for this time of the year. Prior to the start of Samhain, you want to amp up your spiritual hygiene. This means cleansing your home, reinforcing any protections you have. Ideally, you want to make sure that unwanted, uninvited energies and entities do not have access to your home. This is also a great time to do a simmer pot, especially one for protection. As we approach Samhain, you will also notice a lot more activity happening, if you know what I mean. An increase in activity in your home is not necessarily something to fear. It can also be the presence of your loved ones. Another important thing to do if you do any form of veneration is to clean your altar. And I mean physically clean it. You can create a seasonal altar dedicated to Samhain and decorate it with items that correlate to Samhain. You can incorporate the colors of Samhain in your home and altar space. To honor those who have passed, you can set up a specific altar space for them if you don't already have one. This altar is personalized to the deceased. You would include personal items to that person, such as ashes, a picture, a favorite item, and then you would venerate them. You can provide offerings, light a candle in their favor. You can sit down and eat with them, or just even sit there in silence. You can play their favorite music or sing it if you can. There are just so many ways you can honor them. Pay close attention to signs and messages from your spirit guides or your ancestors. This is also a great time to do divination. Due to the thinning of the veil, that means that nearby spirits that are not a part of your spiritual team can be present. This is why it's so important to have protection in place, and why you also want to layer your protections. Here's the fun fact: the wearing of Halloween costumes originally stems from a pagan tradition. It was initially done to ward off evil spirits. Traditionally, Samhain is a pagan religious festival which originates from ancient Celtic spiritual practices. It also marks the beginning of winter and longer nights. Before pumpkins were used for jack-o'-lanterns, they originally carved jack-o'-lanterns on turnips. As Christianity continued to spread throughout pagan communities, the church leaders decided to appropriate and reframe their version of Samhain, which marked the 13th of May to celebrate the saints and martyrs. Because this gesture did not end the fire festivals associated with Samhain, in the 9th century, Pope Gregory moved the date to November 1st and declared it All Saints' Day, followed by All Souls' Day. Later on, Samhain becomes Halloween as we know it. October 31st becomes known as All Hallows' Eve. It is said that trick-or-treating originally derived from ancient Irish and Scottish traditional practices. Trick-or-treating was also originally done in the nights leading up to Samhain. I think it's amazing to see how the traditions for Halloween have evolved and survived over time, even without recognition to the original pagan practices. And happy Halloween!